One Piece chapter 1058 is finally here. Let's talk about it. So we start off strong with the Straw Hats' new bounty, which is pretty crazy. Chopper goes to 1,000 berries, Nami's at 366 million, Brooks at 383 million, Frankie's at 394 million, Usopp's at 500 million, Nico Robin went up to 930 million, and then we get to see 4 people on the crew with a billion berry bounty. We have Sanji at 1,032 million, we have Jinbe at 1,100,000,000, and then we have Zoro, my king, back at number 2 at 1,100,000,000 and 1,100 berries. I think that's what that is. But anyway, this is incredible just to have 4 people on the Straw Hats to be over 1 billion. That means they're all around first Yonko commander level, and especially with Luffy being the new Yonko, it's fantastic. Then we get some great Zoro Sanji fighting moments over who has the highest bounty right now, and Luffy stuck in a cage after Nami beat the living shit out of him. But then the best part of this chapter is something I didn't see coming. We get Mihawk and Crocodile dialogue. But I'm hyped. This is great. Mihawk and Crocodile are holding Buggy by his cut off head and be like, "We are going to kill you." And Buggy's just like, "Please spare me." And Mihawk's just like, "Don't make unreasonable requests. This is beyond insulting." They are just so pissed off that they are underneath Buggy, and that's how the world perceives both of them to be. And it's great to see these callbacks with Mr. 3 being like, "Hey Crocodile, hey boss, it's great to see you, and it's great to be serving underneath you." Buggy's just like, "Hey, how'd you turn on me?" And Mr. 3, is just whimpering back to his old boss and just like, "I don't even recall joining you officially," which is some great callbacks to the beginning of One Piece. We also even get to see Mr. 1 Dad's Bone, and then all the other OG Buggy pirates, and it's so funny just to see them all interacting together. And then we get to see the context of why Mihawk is even there in the first place. We see Crocodile reaching out and being like, "Hey, I saw you lost your Warlord perks, and the Marines keep swarming your island." So Mihawk's just like, "I gotta relocate," but Crocodile proposes, "Hey, we should team up, because if we team up, the Navy won't be chasing after us because we're too strong together." And I love this origin of how the coalition actually even began, because Mihawk just doesn't want to be bothered. He thought it was fun to fight the Marines, but when they send so many numbers after him, he's just getting tired of it. And then we also get to see backstory about how Crocodile even showed up. And Crocodile only came to Buggy because he loaned him money and wants to collect that debt. Of course, Buggy does not have any of the money, but he has the resources and the men, so he offers it to Crocodile. And Crocodile is trying to rebuild a company, and he needs money for that, which is something I wasn't expecting. So are we going to get another Alabasta numbers company? So is this like how Crocodile is going to be finally coming back into the story? I wasn't even expecting him to come back into the story, but with this, he's going to build another company and have more pirates under him, so he's become a very big threat again. But I'm very interested to see how this goes with Mihawk, Buggy, and Crocodile all working together. It's probably going to be their company together, but Crocodile and Mihawk are running everything. Then we also get to see how the flyers came about, how it was Buggy's dumbass crew that just thought he was the shit, because they're just tricked to believe that Buggy is the best, and then they just printed all these posters and sent it out, and now the world is tricked to believe that Buggy's running everything. And Buggy is just explaining like, "Hey, this wasn't me, this was my people. Please don't kill me. I'll do whatever you guys want, just don't hurt me." And then we get some government updates, which honestly is my favorite thing about this chapter. We get bounties on bounties on bounties. We get Crocodile and we get Mihawk. Crocodile surprised the hell out of me. He has 1.9 billion bounties, close damn near to 2 billion. I was not expecting him to even be in the billions, because I believe his original bounty when we first met him was like only 100 million, so to go up pretty much a full billion was pretty crazy. And the best was Mihawk. They gave him 3.59 billion berry bounty, which is basically 4 billion, but I feel like the reason why they didn't increase it is because Mihawk doesn't attack citizens, he only attacks Marines, but only when he's provoked. So he's not like out there trying to cause mass damage or trying to be a thorn in the Marine's side. He just wants to be able to do whatever he wants. But if he was aggressive and kind of like Kid, attacking Marines, he would definitely be in the 4 billion easy, because he is a rival to Shanks. He is basically another emperor. I would consider Mihawk another emperor if he was actually caring about doing anything to upset the Marines or to take over it for territory. Then because Buggy is the quote-unquote figurehead, he gets 3.189 billion berry bounty, which is the funniest thing. I love this gag of Buggy being this insane threat to the Marines when in actuality he isn't. Then we get some more dialogue with Mihawk and Crocodile, and they're like, you know what? Mihawk's just saying, all things considered, this isn't the worst thing, because if we need a fall guy, Buggy is our main fall guy, and I have no interest for the title of Emperor, so as long as there's no heat on my back and Buggy's taking the full brunt of this, I'm okay. And Crocodile's just like, I guess this is true. We can always dispose of him if we needed to. But right now, we'll keep him as the figurehead. And then Buggy gets to introduce Crocodile and Mihawk as subservients of the Buggy crew. And you can tell Mihawk and Crocodile just want to die. They don't want to fucking deal with this. But this was amazing to see them all be together and working under Buggy. I think this is just the best thing that's happened in the story in a minute. Then we get some amazing Sabo news. He's alive, and we get to see Kuma. They actually rescued Kuma, which is amazing. So now Sabo's going to tell them exactly what happened at the Reverie. The Marines have tapped into this and are going to listen to it, but the chapter ends before we get to see anything. But this chapter is fantastic. I give this chapter a 10 out of 10, mainly for the interactions with Mihawk and Crocodile, because these are two characters I love a lot. Mihawk more than anyone else. I love Mihawk, but to see him actually being able to participate in the story is insane. And this just opens so many new avenues for the rest of the story. So now we got a new system called Coalition, which is groups of pirates getting together under a common goal. It's kind of like the pirate alliances that Law and Luffy had for the past 10 years. But this is just so great to see, because this is a very organic way to incorporate all these old characters back into the story, which I think is just genius. Now I'm wondering who else is going to join a coalition, and if Doflamingo's going to come back, Eneru's on the moon, maybe he'll come back, Caesar's still, doing his own thing with Germa. So it's just great to see all these alliances, but it really sets up for the end game, because when we go against Emu and we go against the world government for the final war, I feel like all these coalitions are going to come to one head and either have one big pirate alliance or one big all-out brawl, which is going to be the biggest war of the series, and I love the possibility of this. I'm also very interested to see where Mihawk is going to go. What is my man Mihawk doing, and why is he here? I really hope that during, the last war, Zoro and Mihawk don't fight, because I believe Mihawk and Zoro need their own separate battle after Luffy becomes Pirate King. But to see Mihawk and Zoro fight together, that would just be insane. I love this so much. I'm going to talk more about coalitions in another video, another theory video, but this sets up a lot of great endgame possibilities of who's coming back, and that's my favorite thing. We get a who's who on who's coming back into the story. And then with next week, or I guess after the break, I hope we get to see more Sabo. But this chapter was incredible. I had a great time reading it. I was laughing my ass off reading this chapter. It's one of the funniest chapters with all the Buggy shit. But I love this chapter so much. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. And don't forget, please like and subscribe. And I'll see you guys next time. Peace.